So it's Thursday, somewhere in January. Again, I lost the date and I'm very confused as always. But we are again with David Kessler, and this time in his role as the president of the Kern Law Enforcement Association. This association represents as kind of a union, or as a union, the about 500 sheriff's deputies and district attorney investigators in Kern County. So, what is the main issues that we have here in Kern County?
A lot of the main issues with our deputy sheriffs and DA investigators is staffing. We can't staff and fill the positions in Kern County. We need to have more staffing. We're about 100 deputies down, over 100 deputies down vacancies across all our ranks. We have deputies leaving on a regular basis to other jurisdictions in the state and within the city for better pay, better benefits, and better working conditions.
So we are down in this relatively small Kern County by 100 deputies. That is about 20% of the workforce or something, isn't it?
Yeah, we're allotted just over 600 deputies, and we're about 100 of them down. So we're a good chunk of deputies down where we can't provide the same level of service that we would like to provide.
That is amazingly bad. I'm, asking later who is responsible for that. But the question is, you said deputies are also leaving. Why are? And we had indeed in Frazier Park and the head of the substation before you that left to a school police department. He was a sergeant here and went to a school police department. Why did he do that?
It was better pay, better benefits, and better working conditions. I mean, we don't have the staffing, we don't have the personnel. Deputies are regularly working 16-hour days, mandatory. They're being told the last hour of their shift that they're staying over for another 8 hours. You can't plan your family life around that. And deputies are getting burnt out from that kind of work ethic. Also, you have the deputies working by themselves in rural areas, by themselves at night, even during the day. You have sometimes one deputy on for 400 square miles at sometimes.
Okay, comparing that to Los Angeles, you push a button, you have 50 law enforcement officers there within 5 minutes, and the biggest problem is not the crime scene, but the parking for all the patrol cars. That's an issue you don't have here. But it comes down indeed to pay. What is the pay of an average deputy, a sheriff's deputy in Kern County, compared to other counties like even San Bernardino County, LA County, or something like that?
We're seeing our pay about 12% on average under the comparable counties. The county sets what a comparable county is. There's a certain criteria that it has to meet in order to be a comparable county to Kern County. And we found through our study and the county study that we're about 12% under the average of pay and benefits. And not all of it is benefits, but they take out certain things, add in certain things. So it's tried to be an equal pay or scale across the board. And when you have better pay, when you can walk across the street, even to like Bakersfield Police Department, where you don't have to uproot your family, you don't have to move out of the community, you can live in the same house, and you can get 7 to 10% more pay than staying where you are. Why should people stay?
Yeah, and again, the former sergeant Dustin, he went to UCLA as an officer and said, I'm getting much more pay, and he lives in Castaic. So why the heck do you get 12% less? Are you not qualified, or what is the issue here?
It's same qualifications across the state, so everyone's qualified. A lot of deputies are using us as a training ground and moving on. At the end of the day, the Board of Supervisors control the money that comes into the department and the salaries. We negotiate with them as far as the association goes, and they decide whether or not they're going to give a pay raise or not.
Yeah, but is there not a thing that's called fair treatment to county employees, in particular public safety professionals? I'm not kidding with this question. How in the heck can you say, hey, we pay you 12% less than anybody else, and then expect to have good and dedicated public safety professionals?
That is the issue, and that's why people recognize that and they leave. They get the training here. We spend a lot of money training them and getting them up to speed and getting a quality candidate. And those quality people are the ones that are leaving, and they're going to other places. And we're left with dedicated people still, but we can't attract new hires in that want to stay and actually live and run out their career in this county.
So the question to the supervisors would be, How does that work out? You train people, you pay them 12% less, and then they leave. Why do you not give them a fair treatment, fair pay, and have them for long term? Isn't that a legitimate question?
It is a legitimate question. We would like to kind of know where their thinking is. They have money for their special projects and some other things, but when it comes to actually salaries and retaining people and seeing what other counties are doing and how they treat the people and retain people, they're not living up to that bar. I mean, you got to be competitive in this industry, just like any private business, anywhere, any private sector. You have to have that competitiveness and competition in order to retain the good people that you want to come work for you.
No, I understand that. So we have five supervisors, and they don't treat you, I will say, not as fair as they do in other counties. What is the rationale behind it?
That's a good question. That's something you're going to have to ask them. We know that we're in hard budget terms. We understand that. But there's things that could be done to mitigate that and to help us out and prioritize their spending. And the Board of Supervisors need to know that they need to prioritize their spending to support the law enforcement and public safety in this county.
Yeah, we talked about two things. We talked about Kern County has more oil than probably any other county except for Houston or something in the entire United States. We should all drive a Maserati. Instead, the people in LA drive the Maserati. So where's all the money from the oil and from all the other agriculture going? Where's the money? And I asked myself that question when I came to Kern County from Los Angeles County and seeing this tremendous amount of poverty. And I was thinking, they have oil like whatever, nearly like God, and people live in poverty. And now I hear the sheriff's deputies are paid 12% less than in comparable counties. Something is wrong. Where's the money?
That's a good question. I think a lot of the money is in the reserves that the Board of Supervisors has, and we don't know where all the money is. A lot of times we've seen in budget years past that all of a sudden the Board of Supervisors finds $30 million or a pot of money at the end of the rainbow. We'd like to know where that rainbow is and where it's hiding. County has to prioritize their spending, and they need to be honest about all the money they have and where it's all at. We even saw in the last budget hearings that it seems like the DA's office and the sheriff were surprised that there were some accounts that they didn't know about that had money that they had for their spending. So the money is probably there. I don't know what they're doing with it all. Also, I think a lot of it has to do with the way they assess oil. They assess it one time a year, and I'd like almost, if they can, if it's legally for them to do, assess it almost quarterly. That way you get the highs and you get the lows, and then you could plan for your budget. They rely heavily on the oil. Oil prices, they've been doing that for several years. They should know where the price of barrel of oil is and be able to project it and know what they need to sustain the county services that they offer. That number should have been known a long time ago. And you can't get an answer from anyone in the county of where oil needs to be, where everything is nice and warm.
That is my impression also, especially with this, what's that called, the Kern County Council and this new deputy, that's now the new boss. You don't very often get answers. There's, in Germany we call that Mauern, you just then don't tell what's going on. You wonder sometimes, the oil is in Kern County, it belongs to the people of Kern County. So you sell it to the private companies and not have the private companies take it out and give Kern County whatever they think is appropriate for Kern County. Something is wrong here. So with deputies getting 12% less, with more than 100 deputies missing vacant positions that basically endanger everybody. And this is not about catching a couple of thieves or something. Kern County Sheriff's deputies in the last years have been successfully rescued a lot of lives by being there first and doing CPR on little childs, on people that collapse on the county fair. Without Kern County Sheriffs, these people would be dead. So again, the question, they get 12% less and we don't know what the money is. One of the things we spoke about is sometimes Kern County seems also not to have the best business practices. I'm looking at the camera, business practices for Supervisor Couch, business practices. So How is it if you want to do a bidding? Bidding is not centralized in Kern County, isn't it?
They have a purchasing department, as far as I understand, that the county runs, but we see some errors in there that the county does. They should be doing large contracts, multi-year contracts with businesses in order to lock in the prices of furniture and other consumables that we could use in order to get the best price possible. Instead, what we're seeing a lot of throughout the county departments, this county department A might go buy furniture. Well, county department B will have to do another bid to buy similar furniture instead of trying to use a GSA scale or other government programs that are out there to buy off of those contracts that are already done. Why waste the money for that stuff?
To get a much better price from private businesses so that you can pay for the deputies and fill the positions that the people of Kern County are missing, because public safety is more essential than basically any other government services except for fire and healthcare perhaps. Okay, thank you so very much for your time, and I would say for sure to be continued.
Sounds good. Thank you for having me on.